Welcome to Noise Party. This week, we are continuing our series of shows shot live at AS220 in downtown Providence at 115 Empire Street, with once more the Cabaret of the Oddly Normal. This week's guests: Scott Shern and Princess Pearl, Algernon and Ivy, The Wrong Hero, the Zen Psychotic, Just Victor, the Avant Guardians, the cast of the review Bag Babies, singing 2 songs, and Greg Gemma. Noise Party is televised at 9 p.m. Wednesdays on Cambridge Community Television, Channel 55.
Yes, we have microphone action. How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah! Thanks for coming out to the Cabaret of the Oddly Normal. And we have a really great show tonight. We have some very special guests. Although right now, in case anybody can notice, I'd like to introduce the band.
The band!
There is no band. There is no band. Hey. So what I'd like to do is if everybody could just kind of put their hands together and start clapping. We're just going to make a little music of our own, just to get things started.
What's the song that sings? We will rock.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story about a wonderful girl. She's the wonderful host of the world. She's got hair of gold and eyes of blue. And watch out, boy, she'll make a fool out of you. Well, this comes as no surprise. Everyone stand up, please. Rise, rise. You are about to be entertained, cause it's time to start the cabaret. Come on, everybody, stand up.
No.
Please. We're not starting until everybody stands. Yes, please. Welcome the most beautiful diva in Rhode Island. She brings the Hollywood to Providence. Please welcome the fabulous Miss Princess Pearl.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Thanks for that lovely intro, Scott. As you mentioned earlier, we don't have the band here right now, and you know, that's good in a way. Because I was thinking that maybe I rely on them too heavily, and now it's time to rely on my feminine wiles to wow the crowd. Just as I thought, somebody would say something about my dress. This dress.
Nice dress. It's gorgeous.
You love it.
Yes. Of course.
It's very nice, bro.
What I was thinking, I knew somebody would say something about it, so I was thinking, what could I say about the dress? And I will just say that it was $350. And I was employed. I was a virgin once. And I just thought it would be a nice little intro to tell you about a little royal ceremony that I'm having that we're going to do later. Has something to do with my employment. I brought a program to tell you, Sky, you didn't bring a program.
I memorized it.
You know everything that's on it.
I know everything.
Okay, so you know that we have our regular star-studded cast of The Wrong Heroes and Psychotic and Just Victor.
And we have special guests tonight. We have the cast of Bag Babies that's playing over at Alias Stage. They're gonna be coming over to do a musical number. And we have a special guest, the Avant Guardians. They're going to be here to do something quite weird and wacky, probably. And of course, we have Just Victor, Zen Psychotic, Algernon, right. The usual troupe.
And we want to tell you at this time that if you think that you could do something on stage, and we don't jury it, you can do basically just about anything you'd like to. You get in touch with Scott, and we'll see if we can set it up for next month, or maybe even today. So.
You slip show it.
No, she was talking to me.
What?
Your
Okay.
purse,
Let's not.
your purse is grabbing your dress, so beware.
Thank you. That will be all.
Thank you, Scott. Okay. I'd like to introduce the first act and let them get to them. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. First up is
Algernon and Ivy, a work in progress.
See, when I was a teenager in high school, I did really badly in math. And of course, I refused to accept that this was because I was just really bad at math. I insisted this was because I was afraid of numbers. That's what they call it when you're a kid and you're not doing well in math. They say, oh, he's intimidated by the numbers. He's got a number phobia. Now that I'm an adult, I find numbers really goddamn interesting. I find them funny, too. And I find things like were boring before, like the budget, all those numbers. I find those really funny. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some funny numbers that have been in the news recently. Starting with the state budget. Now, the state budget, as you know, the governor had to cut every single department and service there was. Had to cut it right down the line, okay? Some of these cuts were as little as less than 1%, and some of them were as much as 16%. All except for the arts, of course, which got cut 36%. That's a pretty funny number, huh? 36% cut to the State Arts Council. Now, did they save a lot of money by doing this? No. Oh, they saved about $223,740. That's less than $250,000 in a $3 billion budget. Think about that. Now, in the news this week, big company called APC laid off a bunch of workers. Now, APC makes these things, okay? Sort of a hot item if you own a computer. This is not a company that's losing money hand over fist. They make surge protectors. Well,
Suppressors.
what's that?
Surge suppressors.
I stand corrected, thank you. So, the boy CEO of this company was asked how profitable his company was, and he said, this much! But last year, it was only profitable by about this much. So they decided to do some layoffs. And of course, we don't like to say that we're firing people. We don't like to say that we're downsizing even, because we're on to that. What we like to say is we're tightening our belts. In other words, we're firing 175 people. Only because the company isn't making quite as much profit as it did, last year as it did the year before that. Well, I got a hold of something really interesting, which is a list of companies that have laid off a lot of workers and the salaries of the CEOs before they laid off the workers and after they laid off the workers. Yes, sir. We start with Eastman Kodak, makers of camera film and household cameras. They axed 14,000 workers between 1993 and 1994. Now, the CEO, George Fisher, before laying off these 14,000 people, made $1,890,000. Not bad. However, after he laid off the 14,000 workers, Mr. Fisher was pulling down $3,901,000. Oh yeah! Westinghouse Electric, makers of washing machines and owners of networks, axed 4,900 people between 1994 and 1995. Just kind of tighten up the belt a notch or two. The CEO, Michael Jordan, no, not that Michael Jordan, was only pulling down $713,000. Imagine.
Oh, what about welfare?
I know. This man might have a family at home.
Yeah.
So they laid off 4,900 workers, and after that, Mr. Jordan found himself pulling down $1,357,000.
Yay!
Oh, it gets even better. This is just piddly shit. Scott Paper, makers of bathroom tissue. They axed 10,500 the year 1994. All those people out on the job market, out collecting welfare.
Yay.
The CEO, Albert J. Dunlap, was pulling down a measly $618,000. That's like one ply salary for a CEO. However, after laying off a good part of the workforce, Mr. Dunlap started pulling down $3,575,000.
That's a lot of toilet paper.
That's a lot of toilet paper. You got it right.
It's like 7 ply, isn't it?
IBM. IBM. They laid off 36,000 employees in the year 1994. The CEO, Louis, excuse me, of course I meant to say Louis, was pulling down $2,800,000 prior to these necessary layoffs. And now Mr. Gerstner is pulling down, more or less, $4,600,000.
Yeah!
That's the way to stay competitive, folks. That's what it's all about. That is why it makes perfect sense to raise your state administrative budget $8 million while cutting bread and arts education and other useful bleeding heart Tommy programs. I didn't come about. I didn't come here. What is it? I'm all tangled. I didn't just come here to bitch about that. I'm having one of those moods this week. This week when the weather was really nice. I took a vacation. I was actually up in the woods. And I found myself throwing my voice up against the sky a lot. I've been having one of those weeks where I think I'm a cross between Enrico Caruso and Bobby McFerrin. So my friend Ivy, who has to listen to me all the time, has just started singing along with me, and we've got a game that we're going to play. So my friend Ivy's going to come up, and Joe, we need another mic. I know I got a big butt, but we can share this.
You know what? You're taller than me. Do we have you thoroughly depressed by the state of the arts?
What?
I'm thoroughly depressed
You're thoroughly depressed?
by the state of the arts.
Why are you depressed about the state of the arts?
You have to ask?
Yeah. Well, we're doing it, aren't we? We don't need grants for this. Oh, however, I wanted to add that because he cut RISCA 36%, I'm sorry, it's politics, but he cut it so bad. I mean, he gutted this program and didn't save himself much money. That's pure politics, folks. He's not saving a lot of money by this. So, y'all paid $3 admission to come in here tonight. But there's one more thing that's part of your price of admission. You gotta give the governor a call, okay? It matters. Give him a call. If you're the kind who likes to write letters, write a letter and call. Do that, because this place depends in no small part on there being that kind of support. So really, really consider it part of your admission. Honest.
Ready?
Okay, end of message part. You're gonna start. Okay.
And it's swinging from a tree. She stung me just like a bee. And it's swinging from a tree. She stung me just like a bee. And it's swinging from a tree. She stung me just like a bee. And it's swinging from a tree. She stung me just like a bee. She sat me down on a little black cushion, sat me down, said, listen here. You can't dispel the fog all over. You can't do nothing about the suffering round your head. You can't dispel it with a little laugh. You can't dispel it with a little chair. You can't dispel it with the spring out there. You can't settle it with a real dark beer. All you can do is watch how it works and give it a lot of space to run all around. Give it a lot of space and make your mind real big and let it run. And it's swinging from a tree. She stung me just like a bee.
Nope, that's it. It's all for me. I don't know where our MC is.
All right. Not to be too political, but please welcome the next President of the United States of America, the wrong hero.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your wallets. On this great and a historic occasion, as opposed to some other incredibly great and historic occasion, I'd like to announce my candidacy for the presidency of the United States. Now, if I may interject a little personal commentary about myself, my motto in this race for the presidency is like that of the little engine who could, namely, I think I can, I think I can, fail. I can afford to bide my time in this long uphill struggle for the presidency because my motto is, Lord, give me patience. Now! And I can bide my time and deal with the inevitable lies and slanders that my opponents will spread about me in my race for presidency of the United States. Some say I drive a foreign car, that I fathered an illegitimate child, that I released the convicted murderer on furlough, that I had electroshock therapy, that I get free cable television, that I steal newspapers intended for recycling and sell them, that I blow my paycheck at the dog track, that I use drugs, that I was arrested for drunk driving on a suspended license, that I traffic in pornographic videos, that I raised taxes, cut police, resisted arrest, took junkets at taxpayer expense, that I believe in a double standard, visit prostitutes regularly, run red lights, eat veal, steal pennies from a blind man's cup. To all of these charges, I say, where's your proof that will stand up in court, you filthy monkeys? Anyhow, on the one hand, I'm asking for your votes. On the other, I shouldn't have to ask. You should have already gotten the message by now. I deserve your votes. Otherwise, fuck you and the vote you rolled in on! I'm terribly sorry. I must have gotten Bob Dole's speech mixed in with mine.
Sounds like Matthew Gannon's speech.
I should mention, for the benefit of all you gun owners out there, that I like to drive a beat-up old American pickup truck with a homemade license plate that says militia. Anyhow, I shouldn't have to ask for your vote. I deserve your vote. Otherwise, get on a boat and go the fuck back where you came from, Jose! Once again, I apologize. I must have gotten Pat Buchanan's speech mixed in with mine here. Terribly sorry. This whole evening. Anyhow, I promise, if elected, that I will not make intelligent decisions. I'll just give you what you want. And you can take that to the bank. Now remember, if the election were held today, it would be November. Now, if you do vote for me, I promise immediate action. On the day I am elected, if elected, I will send every one of you a bright, shiny, brand new penny. Please allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. Now, every politician has to have a motto. My motto can be summed up in 8 words. I'm innocent, and the district attorney knows it. The rules of the game of politics have changed. I'm running because, like most Americans, I need a job. Any job. And just because I wasn't born into inherited wealth is no reason why I shouldn't start at the top. But I don't know why I'm asking you for your vote. You should give me your vote freely because I deserve it. And if you'd like, we can go on board my yacht and discuss it over a glass of Chardonnay. Oops, sorry. Once again, I got Steve Forbes' speech mixed in with mine. I'd like to make a few promises. I promise you that I am not addicted to alcohol or narcotics. I have not touched a drop of alcohol in 5 years. I have touched several bottles of alcohol and drained them of their contents, but I haven't touched a drop. As for the narcotics, I can quit anytime I want to. But I am addicted to an ideal. My ideal is this. When I say frog, you jump! In my campaign, campaign, I promise you that I will never commit the sin of asking for your money only once. And I promise that I will not keep sloppy financial records. I won't keep any records at all. I promise to account for every penny you give me. I promise that every red cent of your hard-earned money will go straight into my pockets, where it will be safe and, incidentally, warm. Matter of fact, I won't make any promises at all that I can't keep. I won't make any promises at all, in fact, except for the ones that will make you vote for me. Oh, and furthermore, I pledge that if I win $100 million in a lottery, I will give you $50. Now, all across this land, as the millennium draws to a close, naysayers, prophets of doom, and gloomy guzzes talk about the end. I prefer to focus on the beginning of the end. I do not intend to dwell upon the mistakes I've made in the past. No, my friends, I intend instead to dwell upon the mistakes I intend to make in the future. Here is my plea. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for me. The wrong hero. As for the charge that I evade the issues, I say, don't worry about me. I'm all right on all the issues. Now, it has been said that we live in a troubled time for civilized discourse. Therefore, I suggest that you shut the fuck up and let me talk. Fuck the rules. I'm making this up as I go along. You're so boring, I could snore. You're so stupid, I could scream. But please, don't take it personally. I will candidly and openly prevaricate. As I say to you that in running this race, I am after the swing vote. Tomorrow I'll be speaking at the Monkey House at the Roger Williams Zoo. You see, I am the only honest man in politics, and I must admit I stole that slogan from somebody else. I will say to you now that if elected, my foreign policy will be to enthrone tyrants and doom freedom. In other words, it will be business as usual at the State Department. And here's where I stand on the other major issues. I favor gun control except for assault weapons and armor-piercing bullets, which are protected by the Second Amendment to the Constitution. As for school prayer, I believe there should be a moment of silence in public schools and a moment of noise in Bible schools. I support all affirmative action quotas, but only when they favor me. And I oppose the death penalty except for people I just don't like. Now, you listen to me and you listen good. I ain't gonna let no perfumey smelling, lifted pinky finger, Madison Avenue slicker run my campaign. Besides, they cost too much. I will admit I'm operating under a lot of handicaps in this race. I'm old, I'm repulsive, I'll steal anything that isn't nailed down, and I'm too cynical to tell the truth. In other words, I have at least one thing in common with all the other candidates in this race. And that, in a nutshell, is why you should elect me, the wrong hero. In this great country we call America, as opposed to some other name like former British colonies or Disney World or Frank Sinatra land, in these great United States of ours, there are limits to what we ought to be willing to tolerate. My job in running this race is to test these limits to their breaking point. Now, some people say that I exude an air of silky menace. I find that very amusing, and I will hunt them down and destroy them at my leisure once you elect me. For I am an honorable man. In my campaign, I will not pander to the religious right just to get access to their mailing lists, large cash contributions, and voters who are fanatically loyal to their cause. But I think I should mention that Jesus Christ is my campaign manager. I was going to pick Einstein, but I was afraid he knew too much. In the course of my speech, I hope I've impressed you with my brilliantly boring comments. Well, people say I'm tactless. I like to think of myself as fearless. Fearless because I speak out and say things out loud that other people only whisper. Things like, "Hey mister, your fly is open!" Things like, "Quiet please, this is a library!" Things like, "I'm really very sorry, but I've got laryngitis." To conclude, why am I running this race? It all comes down to one word: stupidity. I came in second in a stupidity contest. I would have come in first, but I was stupid! But I think we need a stupid candidate in this race if this election is to be truly representative of the electorate on whose behalf and for whose benefit it is being waged. After all, stupid people deserve representation too, even if they're too dumb to know it. So on election day, when you pull that lever or switch or thingamajig, or whatever you call it, remember, vote for me, because I'm too dumb to steal. Vote for me, because I don't believe in organized crime, I believe in organized chaos. Now, if I have one final message to share with you, it's this. Message: I don't care. And remember too, politics is sports for people who are too fat to run and too old to fight. And now, my friends, I'd like to thank you. You give good audience. I must mention that I call you my friends even though you aren't. Because my real friends would never have let me talk this long. I'm the wrong hero. Thank you.
And I should let everyone know that the wrong hero has been endorsed by the Libertarian Party of Rhode Island and their candidate. Now, I'd like to introduce a very respected performance artist who's been a member of this troupe for a long time. He's an accomplished musician and saxophone player. Please welcome the Zen Psychotic.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad that happened. Because, you may use the other one. All right, I'm glad that happened. And hello, is this working? Is this one? This one is working. Okay. Well, I am glad that happened because what I wanted to do tonight was a stream of consciousness type of thing, which is basically what I do anyway. I mean, I've been doing things here since around 1987. First with an unnamed group. We didn't call ourselves anything at that time. It was Bert and other people hanging around would do a performance. We'd get together and do a performance. Some were called Brute Art, that was one I remember. And then later we were Three Grease Balls. And Mayor Cianci didn't like that name. I called him when he was doing the talk show and he was kind of upset about it. So we rehashed it and then we became the Meatballs Fluxus. And we've been doing things for, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years. When we first started, we were really afraid to be in front of an audience. So we would not rehearse anything because we wanted to do pure stream of consciousness kind of stuff. But we would hide behind a screen. We'd hang up a sheet or a large tarp and backlight it and you would just see shadows and we would do things. So then Meatballs Fluxus went wherever they went. They're still out there somewhere. And I started doing the Zen Psychotic, which has to do with, again, trying to do stream of consciousness performance. And then I would look at the tapes of these performances and then script them out and then try to do them again, and that would be the psychotic part. I guess also the psychotic part is my anger. I'm an angry young man. I'm really angry, and the more I'm educated, the fucking angrier I get. And I've been depressed the last couple of weeks and not inspired to do anything, any performing. I mean, I make it to work every day, you know. So a friend of mine, Steve Ventura, thought what I needed to give me some inspiration was a book by Noam Chomsky, which details meetings with the National Security Council. He thought that would inspire me, but it kind of made me more depressed, more angry. I'll just give you a quick example of the things I found in Noam Chomsky's book, NSC, National Security Council Memorandum 68, a conversation in the meeting that took place that says, after World War II, 1948, when the United States brought all the Nazi war criminals over to do their CIA work for them in Nicaragua and all these little third world countries to maintain democracy, with killing and torture and hanging people upside down and slicing their breasts open and cutting their faces back to instill fear, because we really want to instill fear when people start asking for rights. One of the things in the Memorandum 68 was said, it's unrealistic to think of human rights and raising the living standard, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he gave me a book on ranting, and because over the last few months I've been trying to develop a rant, because I like ranting. A stream of consciousness rant, but I don't feel like doing it, so what I have for you tonight is someone else's rant that I really found enjoyable, and I'm going to do that for you. Oh, one other thing I have to let you know about this. This really fucking upset me. It made me angrier than I've ever been in years. One of the things, John Foster Dulles and his brother Alan, the then CIA director, were talking about communism and that threat, and what was said was communism appeals to these people because it affords the poor an opportunity to plunder the rich. And our doctrine is, and always has been, the rich should plunder the poor. So, you know. I say cut their fucking heads off. I say wake up and start fucking getting with it. The media is controlled by these motherfuckers. I can't help it. I didn't want to rant. I was going to do his rant, but maybe I'll do my rant. I don't know. I'm sick and fucking tired of the fucking bullshit. Aren't you? Aren't you fucking tired of it yet? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this rant instead. I still say, cut their fucking heads off. They've hired Nazis. They are Nazis. They do nothing but kill and destroy. But I like to do this in the tradition of Meatballs Fluxus. Don't go away now. Hold on. Here we go. This is a rant from the Book of Rants. Yeah, actually, it's not bad. This is not, however, stream of consciousness. I'm doing someone else's script. You are among the many passengers of a large bus careening wildly down a twisted mountain road. The bus is being driven by a drunk who is half blind. He and those near the front are also suffering from some sort of intoxication from a gaseous emissions. They are also drinking. It is night. Not even the moon is out providing lighting. The main lights of the bus are broken from near brushes with the steadily deteriorating old guardrails that are the only thing between the bus and a 2,500-foot plunge off a sheer face cliff. The bus is traveling at a truly high rate of speed, etc. Evidently the brakes are out. Only the screams of watchful passengers have kept the sleeping bus driver from crashing. Within the last few minutes, more than 4 times the bus has had a near miss headed straight forward into a sharp turn. It is raining and the roads are slick. You originally got into the bus to obtain protection from the elements. This was long ago. So long that you don't remember. Way back then, some wise guy started the bus and began driving. The drivers have changed several times, but no matter what, they still speed up. They frequently promise to slow down some, and they all drink heavily from some seemingly bottomless flask stored near the front of the bus. Most of the passengers sit mute, staring off into space, rolling out of their seats and not getting back into them. They seem paralyzed. Those that still seem conscious are divided. Most of them believe the bus is headed somewhere. So do the drivers. But others know that there never was any particular destination in mind. A while back, you and some others found a map inside something called a history book. And on the map was a picture of a road. The map has clear markings that say dead end. In fact, it is a deader end than most. The map indicates that the road ends in an abrupt, unmarked precipice. Some of the passengers want to get out, but the windows and doors have been welded shut. When they go up front to talk with the driver or his supporters near the front, who are also drunk, they are forcibly pushed back. Shouts have one result. The driver speeds up and slumps over the wheel more frequently. Some of the passengers think that everyone should be quiet and simply enjoy the ride. Others are positively certain that the driver should speed up. Still more don't even know that the bus is moving. Once in a while, a passenger goes berserk, doing great physical harm to those around him in an attempt to seize the wheel. According to the map, you are not far from the end of the road. Most of the people who are told this become immediately agitated and call for new drivers. They then attempt to go and take the wheel, which causes the present driver to swerve and screech around in an even more chaotic way. You want to stop the bus and get out, but you cannot. To no one else has it occurred to stop the bus. And it seemed that those in favor of speeding up are gaining the upper hand. They are driven by the idea that if they get there faster, everything will be okay. Thank you. Good night.
very much.
Where's the MC?
Where's the MasterCard?
He's in the bathroom.
Hey Joe, who's coming up next?
Next on the bill we have, as far as I can see, is Algernon. Twice.
Joe, play the song, please.
Play the song, Joe!
Don't tell me that.
So you guys.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you give a warm round of applause for the reputed organized crime boss and next President of the United States of America, Francesco Fat Frank Vicuzza.
How you doing this evening? My name is Francesco Fat Frank Vicuzza. My friends call me Cheech, but I don't think any of you are my friends. I have chosen this night to announce my candidacy. My consiglieri, my strategists, have advised me that this is a good city to announce my candidacy, and I have chosen this city and this night. Now, there have been questions, even before I came up, questions about where do my loyalties lay? Well, my first loyalty is to myself. I'm not a fucking idiot. My second loyalty is to my family. My third loyalty is to my paesani, the people of Civetta, Sicily, scattered throughout the world. And my fourth loyalty is to my country. East Boston. Now, people have raised questions about my criminal record. I've been arrested 157 times. Convicted twice. Once for conspiracy to commit murder, which was true, it had to be done. Second, under the federal racketeering charges, which are bullshit. Now, during my last unfortunate incarceration, I did 5 years in federal prison in Danbury. I had a lot of time to think. And I looked at this country and I said, you know, there's something really wrong. Now, how many people we got here? How many people own a house? Now, there was a time in this country, I mean, the powerful have always taken and always raped this country. There's no question about that. I don't see anything wrong with that. But there was a time in this country when your regular working schmo could afford a house and a little vacation down wherever the hell they go. And it kept them happy. But not anymore. See, because these motherfuckers don't understand about power. They understand about greed, but not about power. They think they got power because they can park in front of the Pentagon. This is not power. They don't have power. Now, when I was in the joint, I read many things. I read the Quran, I read the Bible, I read the Tao Te Ching, and I read a lot of Machiavelli. And I made the
acquaintance of a certain Mr. Hong Lim, who was also serving time under the federal racketeering charges. And among the Chinese tongs, who I have great respect for, there is a saying: the Mandarins derive their power from the law, and the common people from their secret societies. Now, you don't look like no fucking Mandarins to me. So where are you going to derive your power from? So rather than go on and say what my positions are, I figured what I would do is I would open it up to all of you, and we'll see what my administration can do for you. I was going to say regime, but I've been told that that's not correct. Now, I open this up, and I welcome your questions. I'm an honest man. I've laid my sins before you. I mean, I don't have time, but I mean, you know, you ask, I'll tell you. So any questions that you have about my administration, about what we intend to do for this country, you let me know. Open it up. You can't raise your hand, just talk.
You have plans for reforming healthcare?
Aha, healthcare. Now, in this country, we have the greatest quality of healthcare in the world. People come from all over the world to come here, to our hospitals. But people can't get at it. Now, you have to understand insurance. Insurance is nothing more than gambling. And insurance agents are nothing more than bookies. The problem is they welch on their bets. Now, if you've got a mid-level bookie and he welches on a guy for 10 grand, he doesn't have to do that too many times before he gets whacked. Am I correct? So under my administration, the first guy that gets cancer and they don't want to pay it, right? What we do is I call up my associates on Franklin Avenue in Hartford. I say, go down, find the CEO of MetLife, and blow his fucking head off. Yeah! No problem. Next question.
Religion in public schools.
What?
Religion in public schools.
No, I have great respect for the Catholic Church. I was baptized once, and then I was baptized again in blood in the name of St. Rocco. However, my feelings are the church, in whatever, you want to send your kids to Catholic school, Baptist school, whatever the hell you want to do, fine, you send them there. You don't want to send them there, you don't have to send them there. I got no problem with kids playing in school or whatever they want to do. But keep that shit the hell out. All right, next question.
Industrial pollution.
Industrial pollution, all right. See, the problem with businessmen in this country is they're not intelligent businessmen. Because everything is based on 3 years, 3 months, the quarter. That's what it's all about, the quarter, right? So they can't think more than 3 or 4 months in advance. The problem is we don't know how to do anything in this fucking country anymore. All we know how to do is make these factories, and we don't know how to do anything, right? So we have and it's not just this country. If we won't let them do it in this country, we'll go down to fucking Mexico and pollute the shit out of their water. Am I right? All right. Now, I have no problem with people making money. I don't begrudge anyone their living. You want to do that, but just do it the hell out of here. I mean, we're all for making money. Right? You put it in some fucking country we don't care about. Next question.
What are you going to do about competition from abroad?
Don't worry about that. Who offers us the most competition?
Japan.
All right, Japan. You think Japan, huh? We bought fucking Japan, you idiot! World War II. We went in there and we offered them all kinds of aid. What the fuck do you think we did? Now, I got some guy comes to me. He says, oh, Mr. Ficuzza, my restaurant's doing hard times. Oh, Mr. Ficuzza, my grocery store's not doing well. I said, well, yeah, I'll help you out. The next thing you know, we own the guy. We own him, we own his restaurant, we own his children, we own everything. That's what we did with Japan. Don't worry about fucking Japan, guys. Next question.
The national debt.
The national debt. Collect the fucking debt. example.
Yeah.
Take Australia, right? Say Australia owes us, I don't know, $500 million, right? We call up Australia. See, now we're not gonna go with a country that can beef with us. We're not stupid. But all those countries that can't beef with us, we fuck with them. We call up, what do they got in Australia? Prime Minister?
Yeah.
All right, we call up the Prime Minister and say, hey, how you doing? You got that $500 million you owe us? He says no. We say, well, I'll tell you what. You got till Monday or we bomb the fuck out of Sydney. We got that money cleared up in a heartbeat. Next question.
But we are the ones who owe the money here.
No. You don't understand. We owe money on paper. We got a lot of countries that owe us money. Fuck you. Next question. What was that?
Welfare problem.
Welfare problem. You think welfare is a problem? Try without it. All right? I'll tell you what about welfare. We got a country sitting this far from massive social unrest. If we cut welfare, that shit blows up in the streets, okay? Bread and circus, as old as the Roman Empire. You got a problem? I mean, there's always gonna be rich and poor people. What do you think? What, are we children here? There's rich and poor people, they're always gonna be here. So you give the welfare when it's needed. I'm not saying there's not fraud, but so fucking what? There's fraud everywhere. What do you think? There's no fraud with the Bob Doles and the Bill Clintons in this world? Fuck you. All right, next question.
Organized crime.
Organized crime. Well, this is an intelligent man. You know, through all the things that have gone on in this world, governments come and go. We don't go anywhere. So I don't think we're gonna fix it. My feeling is, government stands a lot to learn. Next question. What? Defense. All right. Now here's a question. Who do we have most to fear in the world right now?
China.
Terrorists.
Bullshit. Terrorist bullshit. China bullshit.
Iran.
Russia. There's an old saying in Sicilian, and roughly translated, it means a doubtful friend is worse than a certain enemy. We have a doubtful friend sitting on a quarter of the world's nuclear weapons. We have even more dangerous ones in the Ukraine that they can't tell what the fuck difference between a potato and a piece of bread is. I mean, these people, you know, they're illiterate peasants. They got fucking things that could blow this country up in a second. That's who we need to worry about. Next one. Family values. All right. Well, this is a problem in this country. I've had to face this quite a bit in my career because there was a time when we could recruit out of, you know, good neighborhoods. The North End, Beverly Hill, Bensonhurst, South Philly, near northwest side of Chicago. You know, we had good neighborhoods to recruit from. But the problem is that Americans get lazy. What was your question again? I had a point here.
Family values.
Family values, all right. Family values are gone. You see, the thing is now, I don't recruit from Italian-American kids because you get here too long and you get fat and lazy and stupid like every other fucking American family in this country. You know who I hire? I hire young, hungry Sicilian kids, come here illegally out of Canada. I hire Colombian kids, Dominican kids, not if they were raised in this country. All right? I got some shit over that. But they still understand about loyalty and respect. This country needs to learn about respect. And family values is not being a fucking Protestant son of a bitch. You understand? And Pat Buchanan, we got his fucking number. He's up there talking about, he goes down south and he does this southern accent thing. This guy was born and raised in D.C., lives in McLean, Virginia. You know what that's like? Does anybody know what that's like? Come on. Don't worry about him, though. We know where the bodies are buried. Next question. Racism, all right. This is like rich and poor. Racism is always going to exist. The thing is, is this country has been unintelligent about races. You co-opt people. You don't make them feel as if, I don't give a fuck how people are treated in this country, come on. The thing is you gotta make them feel like they got something. And this country doesn't make anybody feel like they got something. So then we pin this one against that one. We got poor white trash fighting blacks fighting this one, living in the same fucking neighborhood. Come on! Not that there's anything wrong with that. But you have to give everybody a bone and shut them up because there's too much of that in this country. You know, it's like today's American was yesterday's foreigner, and we seem to forget that because we have no memory in this country. And don't worry about Japan either, but I'm gonna tell you what, don't think for a second they forget. In the old country, we got beefs going back 500 years. Because Americans think 10 years, that's it, it's over. Next question.
Funding for the arts.
Fuck the arts. Next question. Gays in the military, all right. People are worried about that. Now, under my administration, we have no problem with gays. We got any gay people out here? Nobody's gonna say. See, it's a problem in this country, isn't it? Nobody's gonna say. I think we got a few. Who the fuck do you think owns all your bars? As long as you keep spending money, we don't give a shit. Next question.
What do you think the tax on capital gains should be?
The tax on capital gains, all right. I don't believe the entire tax structure is wrong. Personally, I've never paid taxes in my life. I've never held a job. I believe that what we do is we pass a tax and we just increase everybody. When you go to buy a washer or a dryer or a can of beer or a pack of cigarettes, we just raise the taxes on all that. Then you can't get out of it. That's it. And you don't get anything for that. You go sell your house, you don't get anything for that. Next question.
Drugs.
Drugs. Well, drugs has been a moneymaker for me and my family for quite some time. And the truth of the matter is, this country's going about it the wrong way because a lot of people in this government are making money on drugs. But they're running a sham. Now, when I was in a joint, I talked to a guy who was from England. He was a junkie. You know, in England, they've gone back to a system where what they do is they allow them to do their drugs, and the government controls it, and the government makes the money. Right there, we wipe out a lot of the national debt. We sell the fucking drugs. That's all. And I don't give a shit. Cocaine, heroin, whatever you want. Opium, you got it. That's all. Next question.
Have you served in the military?
Fuck no. What do I look like, a stupid bastard? I'm gonna go get my ass wasted for these motherfuckers? I don't think so. During that time, I was in Canada. Don't worry about that. We got friends in Montreal, in Toronto, Mississauga, all them places. Go ahead.
What about gun control?
Gun control. Well, gun control, you can't control it in this country. People are gonna have guns. People have asked me questions about murder. I think murder can be a good thing. There used to be a thing in this country known as justifiable homicide. Now, that would take care of a lot of things. First of all, if we legalize drugs, 80% of the people are out of jail. That leaves 20%. Now, half of those 20% should be fucking dead anyways. All right, now we bring back justifiable homicide. In this country, say you've got a niece and nephew, and some guy sexually abuses them. You go to court, the little girl or the little boy's got to go through hell for a year, besides the hell that he or she's got to go through the rest of their life. Now, justifiable homicide. You go whack the fucking bastard, boom, it's all over. She's still got to deal with it, but this fuck ain't out on the street. That's it. Next question.
Tell us something about your first lady.
My first lady. Well, I have several first ladies. You know, I have my wife of 33 years. You know, she's been a good woman. She's overlooked a lot of things. I've kept her, you know, kept her well taken care of. We have several houses. We've got one in Vegas. We got one in Nahant. We've got one over here. We got a townhouse on Central Park West. She's well taken care of. Then I have, you know, the occasional bimbo. But, you know, there's no problem with that. You know, I love the first lady, and, you know, personally, I think she's a lesbian, but, you know, that's all right. Go ahead, because she never minded what I did. Next question.
Will Frank Sinatra be your running mate?
Fuck Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett. Those of us from East Boston. We don't want no New York pieces of shit up in here. Understand? Those motherfuckers have had it long enough. Do you know who solved their wars in 1954? Do you know who solved those wars? We did. We did. Federal Hill boys, North End boys. We went down there and kicked their fucking asses. So don't bring up Frank Sinatra and your fucking New York pieces. All right. One more question.
What is reality?
Reality. Reality is whatever people perceive. And if you're going to be the salesman, you show them the reality that they want. And then you've got them by the fucking ball. What I say that.
Wow, what an interesting show so far. Very interesting. Is that a good adjective? So many things to do, and I'm going to try to find some sort of a way of that we can all understand what I have to do. Firstly, I noticed that the band is back. So far, so good. Momentarily, you will all be witness to a royal ceremony. Right. I thought that once in a while I should exercise my royal options, especially at this time in my life. And before we can do the royal ceremony, I thought that we should have a little story. Let's just say that a certain princess lost her job. That's what you always do when something bad happens to me. Let's make it a little more vague. How about a certain actress model lost her job?
Where?
Oh, let's give it a vague name. You know, something very vague. Like, let's call it Club Providence. Well, anyways, just say that this certain gal lost her job and stuff, and let's just say that, of course, she always does everything in a big way, and she's just riddled with scandal. Everyone's out for her. Let's just say that she's been, very depressed about this, newly in the job market after 4 years, and thinking, gee, what is she good at? Well, she's great at accessorizing and dressing, but let's just say she lives in a small city in a small New England state. Let's just say like Montpelier, Vermont, or whatever. That's where she lives. That's right. Okay. All right. So she has this job at Club Montpelier. After many years working there, she just never thought beyond what she would do afterwards, and this has been very upsetting to her. If it happened to her. And anyways, basically, this gal, at times, because this happened, she would break down and cry for no reason or whatever. And just say that she had a friend who was always there by her side when she needed him. Let's just say that this friend's name is Mike. Well, Mike has no idea that we're talking about him, I'm sure. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I tried so hard to thank this person. See, when it first happened, and of course, now you gotta know that with this gal, because she's really fancy and stuff, that there are all sorts of problems going around her. Not just getting fired or whatever, but say the first problem happens and the first wave of a storm blowing in the wind, a firing coming up. Maybe just say that she was really verklempt, and just say that Mike took her to, let's give it like a vague place, like maybe he took her to the Marriott in Newport. And maybe, just maybe, he just took her out to a fancy dinner and made her feel really good. And maybe In the morning even, she was like, oh, if I need some Advil, can I even go down to the store and use your MasterCard and sign a Mrs. White? And then he was like, well, don't go too crazy. The sweater dress stays in the store, okay. So just say that, okay, so she just was whirled around Newport, felt like a real actress, model. And then afterwards, like the following weekend, maybe they went somewhere like, oh, I'll try to protect the person's identity, I don't know. Say they went to Boston. It's near Montpelier. So, and just say that they went out in Boston, they went to a fabulous new restaurant called Blue Wave. Just maybe she loved what she ordered, although she can't remember what it was now. But I mean, you know, if I were to remember what she might have ordered at a restaurant called that. Anyway, I'm getting long-winded. Mark, will you come up here, please?
Hi to the audience.
Okay. Wait, no. Come here. Yeah. I won't hurt you. Just stay still. Okay. Steve, did we talk about some kind of a little flourish? I, Your Serene Highness, Princess Pearl of Providence, do hereby proclaim you a prince among men. Ladies and gentlemen, Prince Mark. Now, you know, I thought, now, not to detract from Prince Mark in one little bit, but I thought that if any of you had some stories about people in your life that were absolutely wonderful to you, you could tell me about it, and perhaps in future cabarets, we can so honor them. Now, we have a special song, because the band is back.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You do everything royally. stuff right.
I win already. He wins. It's written back in.
Again? Oh, okay. All right, well. Hold on just a second. The Avant Guardians. Here's the other one.
Are they here? Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to witness is a group called the Avant Guardians. And they took their name from a seminal group from Coventry, Rhode Island called the Avant Guardians. Play a quick excerpt.
I don't know. What is the difference between a Republican and a Democrat?
I don't know. What is the difference between a Republican and a Democrat?
I don't know. What is the difference between a Republican and a Democrat?
I don't know. What is the difference between a Republican and a Democrat?
I don't know. What is the difference between a Republican and a Democrat?
I don't know.
They're not with us anymore, but their name lives on. This group from Motor City, Detroit, the Avant Guardians.
How are you? We're really happy to be here in Providence. We want to thank that band there that he's talking about from Cumberland.
Coventry.
The Avant, that's where we got our name. We played, we're really happy to be here in Providence because we understand it's a very hip place. We just played three gigs in New York City. We're a little tired and everything, and played 36 gigs in 60 days, or 60 gigs in 36 days. But we're really, really happy to be here. We're going to just play a little bit of what we do for you. And I just want to introduce you to the band. This is, everybody knows a guy named Mark. That's Mark. And this is Neat Nick Neil, right here. Neil, you gotta, usually we try to start, thank you very much. We usually try to start our show with a poem. Neat Nick, you got a poem for us, these people here? That's right. Neat Nick Neil, Beat Love. All right, we're gonna play for you now. Right now from Motor City, Detroit. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, the Avant Guardians. Right there. I forgot to either call you the Avant Guardians from Motor City, Detroit, and we would love to stay. We would love to stay, but we gotta go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, AS. One more thing I gotta tell you. Ordinarily, you know, we worked out a deal here because this is a very cool place. I mean, ordinarily we make a lot more money than what we're getting paid here and whatnot, but because this is a very cool place, you're very cool people, and, you know, keep it happening. Keep it happening. This is the spirit. Right here. Right now in this place. This is the spirit. Right here. Thank you very much. Yeah, my God. Motor City, Detroit. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what?
What?
Next up, we have Bag Babies here. People from that show, Bag Babies. Steve, tell me when the show is, please.
It's running It's running an Alias stage on Elbow Street, Thursday through Sunday for the next 2 weeks. And it's a play. Some people like it a lot. Okay?
Tell us you wrote the music.
Okay. Come on up on stage,
Who's
guys.
doing my job?
No.
Go ahead, tell them I'm sorry.
That's it. No, it's a good play. And this is a couple of songs from the show, because we figured they're here, you know? So let's have a big round of applause for the cast of Bag Babies. Okay, we got a clip from the show. You want to set this up, guys?
This is the finale of the first act.
Okay.
Kings and Abs.
Are we singing the...
You guys do the dance?
It's the finale of the first act.
No,
We've been doing
I'm just an actor.
Normally they dance. It's good. Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
For a friend in need, it's a friend indeed, and we can help you succeed.
Okay, and then, thank you. And then a lot of other shit happens, and it ends up like this.
At the end of the second act.
Right.
That's the second part, right?
Michael Q.
Oh my God, I feel a song coming on.
Saturday, one on Sunday. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it for the cast of Bag Babies. Very funny play. Very astute. Glad to say I've seen it and I enjoyed it very much. Okay, I'd like to introduce our last act of the evening, and I'd also like to thank the band. They make all the difference. So please welcome the musical stylings of Greg Gemma. Mr. Vegas.
Let's get a seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and...
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You only live once, and when you're dead, you're gone. So let's have the time roll.
if you want to perform, if you feel the need to perform, just call Scott. His phone number is 911. We'll see you April 6th.
4, you have freedom of choice. 5, you have freedom of speech.
assassinate the President of the United States. This is the land of...
This concludes the Cabaret of the Oddly Normal. We'll have 16 minutes of crowd watching, and then that'll conclude the noise party. Please tune in next week when we'll be broadcasting live from the Liberty Cafe. Or no, maybe not. Maybe it'll be another Cabaret of the Oddly Normal. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to stack them. I think though it will be another Cabaret of the Oddly Normal. And then live at Liberty.
set up another Cabaret of the Oddly Normal, recorded live at AS220, 115 Empire Street, Providence, Rhode Island. Tonight's guests were Scott Shern and Princess Pearl, Algernon and Ivy, The Wrong Hero, The Zen Psychotic, Just Victor, the Avant Guardians, the cast of the review running in Providence at the Alias stage, the Bag Babies cast, and Greg Gemma. Noise Party is televised at 9 p.m. Wednesdays on Cambridge Community Television, channel 55, but I'll bet you already know that. You are tuned to Noise Party. As a matter of fact, if you've stayed this long, then I guess you have a right to know that next week we'll be presenting the Stone Soup Poets live at Cafe Liberty, anomalously enough. It was the night of the big blizzard, and they had to move from TT the Bears, which was closed, over to Liberty. So next week it'll be the cafe, it'll be the Stone Soup Poets here on Noise Party. We hope you enjoy Noise Party. And tune into our companion show, Cafe Cabaret, televised at 9 p.m. Tuesdays on Cambridge Community Television, channel